Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. How's everyone feeling out there today? Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace and blessings from a Christ lifestyle. All praise be to the Most High God, His Son Christ, and Holy Spirit. I'm Brother Tyler Doc, and you are
Zaka.
We'd like to say thanks everyone for joining tonight. Like I said, I'm Brother Tyler Doc of a Christ lifestyle. I'm a full-time father, breadwinner, entrepreneur. Also do a little ministry work with my church and everything like that. My wife is a full-time housewife. She does homeschooling. She also does ministry work as well. And together we form a Christ lifestyle where we help turn struggling men and women into relationships into power couples. We also assist newlyweds, young marriages, or people that are single that want to that will be in a relationship. We assist them into getting prepared to be in a relationship. You know, so if that's you, continue watching and just support us. And tonight we're going to be talking about cheating in the next room. I'm just playing. Tonight we're going to be talking about dating your spouse. You know, the title is How to Stop Your Spouse from Cheating on You. So we're going to talk about that because sometimes your spouse may be cheating on you because you stop dating. You know, you stop dating that person. So,
but hopefully you're not that deep into a problem.
Hopefully not. We're here to help. If you are that deep in the problem, we're here to help you. And stay tuned throughout this throughout the broadcast. We'll be doing a couple of giveaways. We got some big news to announce. You know, so stay tuned. And thank you everyone for tuning in. If you can, just take a moment to share. You know, if you're on Facebook, take a moment to hit the share button. If you're on Instagram, do the same thing. Just share it with some people if you don't mind before we get started. You know.
Yeah. So, like you said, the topic of the night is how to stop your spouse from cheating on you. And the bigger picture of that is date your spouse. So there are several reasons why we want to go over this topic. So the first reason is because we were once there, right? So we were definitely in situations where, you know, I would say the relationship got a little
stagnant.
That's a good word. Stagnant.
A little stagnant.
I don't want to use the word boring because it sounds so terrible, but you know, it got stagnant.
It just got in a still spot from us not, you know.
It got routine.
There you go, routine. From us not dating each other, you know. Yep.
Yeah. So, and we know plenty of people in that same position where it's like literally go to work, come home, go to work, come home, go to work, come home, cook dinner.
Deal with the children.
Cook dinner, deal with the children. And it's the same thing back and forth. So that's one reason why I want to talk about it. Another reason is because some relationships lack romance because they're not dating each other. So the spouses are not dating each other. And the third reason is because, and it's a really big one, is a lot of relationships. So what happens is when you want to avoid the danger zone, right? So if a couple is not dating each other, spouses are not dating each other, what tends to happen a lot of times is that, you know, you start looking at other couples.
And thinking is the grass greener on the other side.
Right, so you start looking at other couples and you're like, wow, I want what they have. And surely enough, what you're doing is you are now coveting a whole different relationship. Right?
And that's the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's spouse, thy neighbor's wife, or cattle, or anything of that kind. So you definitely want to stay away from that. And so that falls upon the person, both people within a relationship, to continue dating each other. So you don't have that your spouse start looking at the next couple or looking at the next people like, I want what they have. You know.
And then the easy thing to slip into with that is now, okay, so let's say like someone's looking at another relationship, they're looking at the freshness of it, the newness of it, right? And now you're like, wow, I really want that. So that's like in the back of your mind, like, okay, I want that. And now you got another people of the opposite gender looking at you. And so now you're starting to imagine, well, maybe this person, imagine if this person could give me that fresh, new, those feelings
And
of the
Satan,
new relationship.
And Satan is always in there, or the person is always in there, because if you are an attractive woman or you're an attractive man, someone's always going to be trying to, lay eyes on you, throw little hints like that.
Yep.
And if you're in that position where your spouse has stopped dating you or stopped showing you that affection, those feelings, that temptation is going to be there.
Yep.
And you can easily, you can easily fall to that temptation, And when you fall to temptation, what does the scripture say? It's not just temptation, but when you act on that temptation, it brings forth sin. Sin brings forth death. So now you've committed infidelity within your relationship, and spiritual death or death to your relationship,
Yep. And on that spiritual note, you don't have to be in that person's bedroom, in that person's house, or in that person's presence to even be committing infidelity, right? You can be fornicating in the mind, because now your imagination is bringing you to a place where you weren't even supposed to be, where you normally wouldn't be. But it all started because, you guys weren't dating each other. There was a lack of romance. And now you're like, oh, I miss that feeling of like when you meet a new person and they're like, oh, well, you look nice. And like, you're going on dates and I can give you this and I can give you that. Right. So you easily fall into that covetous situation.
And fellas, don't forget fellas and sisters, don't forget to compliment that spouse. So sometimes you get in a relationship, you stop doing the things that you once did to win that person over, And like Christ said, once you think on it, he said to think on it is sin. Why? Because the big thing is, if you start thinking about, my husband or my wife not doing this, not doing that, but I got someone at my job that's giving me eyes and everything like that, or maybe they can fulfill that role. And then maybe one day y'all bump into each other, and you know what? It just picks up, And in a job, a lot of places, the job nowadays, nowadays is like work wife, what do you mean work wife and work husband? No, it's a wife that you have or a husband that you have at home. No such thing as work wife or work husband, because that shows you right there that those people right there have a little bond or chemistry that people on the job look at them like, okay, it's something going on, a little something going on right there. It may not be all the way there, but there's something going on, some little special connection right there, Yep. So you definitely want to, stay away from that,
Yeah. So let's look at we want to go into the definition of courting, because...
But before we even go there, also when you stop dating your spouse, right, it puts an emotional bond on your spouse, because what happens is sometimes your spouse can start feeling insecure. My husband, my wife don't think I'm handsome or pretty enough. They're not doing the things they once used to do,
Yeah, so that's twofold.
Yes.
So you'll either start coveting another person's relationship and wanting that, or you'll start feeling insecure about yourself.
Exactly.
About what you're bringing into the relationship. Okay.
And if y'all feeling what we're saying, just throw some hearts, put some hearts up there. Also, take a moment just to hit the share button. Please do so.
Yep,
somebody needs this information. Come on.
Yeah. So let's talk about the definition of courting, right? So courting literally means to pay special attention to someone in order to gain their favor. Right? So that's all of the attention that you get at the beginning, where they're trying to, my husband likes to use the word woo. I hate that word. Woo. It's so cliche. Like,
do y'all think
nobody
the word
says
woo is
that
cliche?
anymore. Nobody says that anymore.
It's woo cliche.
Nobody says that anymore, babe.
Who we was talking about, I was like, yeah, the brother or sister trying to woo the person. Am I telling my age?
No, they're trying to gain them. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to gain them, right? So yeah, that's what you do in the beginning to try to gain your spouse and things like that. The second definition is going to great lengths to win.
Fellas, and you know how that was. Fellas, but when you met that woman, you was getting dressed up, you keep the car clean, everything like that. You putting all the fresh jewels, you keeping all the fresh jewels and everything like that. So you was doing different things, going to great lengths. You would even go to let's just say if it was a sister, she go to the grocery store at this particular day and time because you kept your eye on her and something like that. You go to the grocery store, just don't even need nothing. Like, I know she's going to be there Sunday at 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Let me just go act like I need something to bump into and stuff like that. Yes.
You was doing it like that?
Yeah, fellas, we did do stuff like that. Fellas, yes.
Okay.
Not like y'all were sisters.
We don't go to that.
Y'all do, y'all.
Okay.
Come on.
The third definition is being.
Hold on, before we even go there, so you still gotta go to those great lengths, once you get that person, because the whole thing about courting is what? You're trying to get this person, or trying to get to know this person, win them over, so you can potentially marry that person.
Right, that's supposed to be the goal.
That's supposed to be the goal. Yeah. So, once you get that person, sometimes it's like people fall back, you know?
And you think you won because, okay, well, I got that person already. But, okay, so let's keep going. So, the next part is why people like dating and what it really means to date your spouse. So one of the biggest things and why people get wrapped up in dating, stay dating, and just keep going is because people like the rush of dating, right? So think about either your dating days or, if you're single, you're probably still in that phase, right? But there's a rush that comes with meeting a new person. There's a rush that comes with, having a new experience, right? And getting to know someone different. There's a lot of spontaneity involved in that. There's newness, right? So that's what people are attracted to when it comes to dating.
And some people get wrapped up in the whole dating thing where it's sometimes they don't want to be bound to one person because they like the rush. They like the feel, okay, it's someone new for these months. Now it's someone new for these months. And some people are dating multiple people at the same time. And speaking of dating, if you don't stay to the end of this video, go click the link in our bio. Get our new e-guide. It's a free e-guide, 12 date night tips. Click the link in the bio. If you don't stay to the end, just click the link in the bio. Get that free ebook, 12 date night tips. That's 12 date night tips. Click the link in the bio.
So, yeah, that's one of the things. So another part of that is or to kind of contrary that is, it's important to be spontaneous with your spouse, right? So for example, and that's even if you have children.
Yeah, you gotta learn to be spontaneous.
That's its own thing. Having children is its own thing, but you gotta try to be spontaneous with your spouse because again, the love of the dating is that rush, right? That newness, that new experience, and things like that. So being spontaneous is going to make that relationship feel fresh. So for example, the other night, we didn't have a sitter, and that's one of those no sitter date night ideas. We decided to just pack them up in the van. And we went, and it was late at night. What time was it? 9 o'clock?
Yeah, 9 o'clock at night. We drove to the beach.
We just drove to the beach. Walked the boardwalk. There was nobody there. There were a few people there, but it was just nice. We were just out. It was a different way to end the night. It wasn't routine. It was different. And it just felt good, So being spontaneous together is important.
And the children got to run around the boardwalk. It was fun. We set it up. We put the night clothes on, thinking that they would go to sleep, and by the time we got there, they'd be asleep.
That night was different.
Yeah, that night was different. For some reason, they were so excited about going to the beach that they stayed up the whole ride.
Next time we won't tell them where we're going.
They stayed up the whole ride. Then we got to the beach. They was running around, and then I think coming back home, I think they stayed woke almost the whole ride coming home. So but all in all, we still had a good time. We took us some snacks and things like that, and it was nice. So definitely you want to do things that's spontaneous and get out of the routine. And going to the beach is one thing. You can it's different things you can do. We let your mind be creative. You know what your spouse like. Things that you like. Let your mind be creative and just get out of that routine.
Yep. So the next thing is, another thing that people like about dating is that physical appearance, putting on that, that first impression and those multiple first impressions, right? So think about when you first met your spouse, you weren't going to let them see you looking any type of way, right? So not losing that physical appearance is important to still date your spouse and to, make sure that, their eyes are on you. Right? Because even though, yes, you're married, you want to try to win them over every single day. Right? And I think, especially as mothers, for me, that part gets hard sometimes because, or it used to be really hard, especially after having a baby, you're not thinking about like how you look. You're not thinking about, how you look to your spouse, how you look to your man and things like that. So it's easy to slip, but you got to catch it. you gotta bring it back. Just reel it back in. You know what I'm saying? Find yourself again. Have that self-care time, that me time, and make yourself feel good. And also make sure that you still look good. You're not a totally different person after having a child.
And speaking of physical appearance, fellas still compliment that woman, because she, like she say, your wife may be going through something where she is, kind of down, or she's had the babies and she's, doing housework, things like that. Still compliment her and make her feel good, make her feel sexy, make her feel beautiful.
You don't use that word often.
Yeah, but I do use it because you be like the sexy.
Okay. So,
but I always compliment her though. Even when she's around the house, her pajamas and everything like that, and she yeah.
So like one thing that he does that he doesn't know this, but I'll like let it be known now. Like when we're outside and like obviously we have the children, so we're always chasing the children. That's always a thing we're doing. But it's nice when he stops and I stop and he just puts his arm around me. I really like that.
And you know what I like? Since we think about things we like, right? When we're in church, right? This is so spiritual but so romantic. It's like when we be at church, right? And I may be teaching a lesson, or we may be praising, worshiping, and different things like that. And we just turn to each other and look. It's just so romantic because it's like we're connected spiritually. Not only like we're connected, physically, like we're attracted to each other, but to be on one accord, like spiritually, it's just it's something like. So sometimes I'll be teaching a lesson and we'll catch eyes and we'll both just smile like I continue teaching, or praise and worship, and we praise and worship, and we may just turn and like we're on the same beat, So yeah, so it's a great thing, So definitely, fellas, still give her those eye looks and give her those compliments and everything like that,
Yeah.
So those, and don't slack, so once you get this woman, don't slack on the things that you used to do. And sometimes, like I said, we fell into that. We fell into that at one point, but we had to catch ourselves like, you know what? No, we got to keep this thing fresh. We got to keep the fire in it. We got to keep desire for each other in it, and continue to work and build on our relationship, So you want to do these things.
So the next one is that, the next point is that stressors will always affect the mood of the relationship, right? So that could be your job, that can be, family dynamic changes, and things like that, like getting wrapped up in like, what life is giving you and bringing you, right? And so we face a lot of adversity, right?
Yeah, I have a regular job. Then we run the business. Then we got five children.
Yep. And that's just like, that's colored people, period. Right? Like we face all this kind of adversity, and all of it is meant to just bring us down and bring us down and bring us down. So what we have to do is, navigate the way to, come back up, right? And bring it to notice. So if the mood of your relationship is being affected, then you got to make sure that you switch it up, right? So one of the biggest things is get out of routine at least once a week. Do something that's out of routine. If you normally end the night by, cooking, doing a little bit of this, and then going to bed, or like cooking, feeding the children, bathing them, and then going to bed, things like that, switch it up, make it look a little bit different. Before you go to bed, I don't know, have a different kind of conversation, play a different type of game, things like that.
And if you like what we're saying, drop some hearts. We see some hearts going on Facebook. Thanks to the people that's tuning on Facebook. Thank you to the people that's tuning on Instagram. If you like what we're saying, we see some waves on Instagram. Like it, give us some hearts. Also, share it on your page right now. Somebody can use this information, can be beneficial. Someone may be struggling in marriage right now. Definitely share this video right now. And also, if you don't stay to the end, click the link in our bio to get the 12 date night tips. It's a free e-guide that we created. 12 date night tips, okay? 12 date night tips, all right? Click the link in our bio to get the free e-guide. Yeah, so you definitely want to switch up the routine at least like once a week,
Yeah, because if not, I mean, it's just honestly, guys, it's gonna get stale, it's gonna get boring, it's gonna get stagnant, and then what's gonna happen is work is going to, like, and not just like the work, but like the work, if that makes sense. So not just like the 9 to 5 work or the business work, but it's like the work of life is just going to bring
everything down,
and it's always going to feel like
a drag.
It's going to feel like a drag, and it's going to feel routine, and just got to switch it up. Got to switch it up. Another thing to lighten the mood is random gifts and treats.
Random gifts and treats. That's something you got to do. Fellas, you know, if you used to give her flowers, give her flowers. You know, every now and again, bring her some flowers. You know, every now and again, get a fruit basket or something delivered to someone.
Yep, or make something on your own.
You don't have to
if you can't afford it, then just honestly make something on
your
own.
She made for me this one time. I came home this one time. Yeah, she got to get her props. She made her own fruit basket one time. Like, she bought pineapple, strawberries.
Yeah.
She went to someone, bought a little vase and everything like that, and she hand carved them, hand dipped the chocolate and everything like that.
You made it sound extra with that hand carved.
It was. You cut it up.
It was cut up. They were just cut up.
Cut up nice. It was cut up real nice. But when I came, and it was for no reason. It was literally for no reason. I came home one day from work, and she had that along with a letter that she had wrote for me and everything like that. So it was a beautiful thing, you know. And so you just gotta be able to do those things to show each other you still care, you still love each other, because you're with that person they know. But those little acts of love,
it's a reminder.
Are reminders. Yeah. And also get our free e-guide, 8 intentional love acts. That's free too. So you just click the link in our bio. Click the link in our bio. Get those 2 free e-guides that we created. You know. So yeah, you want to do those random gifts or little treats and everything, So sometimes, you know, she likes certain chocolate from Whole Foods. So sometimes I'll get the chocolate from Whole Foods.
Tell them which one.
I don't know the name of it. I know what it look like. Oh. Tell them which one. Plug it.
It's called Choco Love, and it's sugar free.
It's sugar free and it's rocking.
Okay, so yeah, those little reminders are a perfect way just to change the day, lift the mood, and just make things feel different. The next thing is, you know, like he said, I wrote him just a letter. So remember those feelings that you got, if you ever got them, when you were in school, either elementary school or high school, and somebody slipped you a note and it was it's right? It's oh wow,
she
you
likes
know,
me.
You felt, you felt that rush of wow, what's in this note? What am I about to read? You know, it's good to do that in your relationship still.
You got to. You have to. And, you know, fellas, when I got that note from her, it was just so beautiful, handwritten, everything like that. It was beautiful. It really touched me. And she had put it in a frame, you know. So, and also, fellas, do that for your wife, because that's going to show is you know what? He took time out of his day to stop everything he was doing. He thought about me. And not just sent me a text, you know, because sometimes texts
a little bit too automatic.
Yeah. He sat down, got a pen, got a piece of paper, and actually took time and wrote me a letter. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing, you know. It shows that you really care, and you put a lot of emotions and feelings into the letter. Yeah. And if you can't draw some little hearts on it, draw some little doodles on it, you know, just do some things like that. You know, it works, you know. On the back of our room door right now is one letter that's still there. Either you wrote that to me or
I wrote it.
She wrote that to me. It's I love you or something like that, and it's been on the back of our door.
That's not what it says.
What does it say?
It says thank you for everything you do.
It's something like that. It's something like that.
Clearly, it wasn't right.
But she wrote that. How long ago did you write that? A year ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. It's she wrote a sticky note, just stuck it on the door.
Yeah.
And so every day, I see it, you know. So definitely, you know, take time to write those love notes, love letters to that person, you know, or just get a card, you know.
Every now and again. And one of the best things to do is just put in a secret place where you know, in his case, I know where he's going to go, for sure. I know what drawer he's going to open before he goes to work. I know, what he's going to do. So, you know, you just leave it there. You know, you don't have to physically hand it, but it's just cute to find something.
And the reason we're giving these tips, because we want, you know, relationships to be better. You know, we see a lot of black and brown couples. Yeah. When I say black and brown, you know what I mean? Blacks and Latino couples that are breaking up, or we have high divorce rate or low marriage rate, because it's things that we're not implementing, because, you know, these curses, people don't want to be together, or they start going through these hard times, and it's you know, we're going through these hard times, let's separate. Let's get away from each other, you know? Versus like, yo, let's work this out. What can we do to fix this and resolve this?
Right.
So that's what we're here for, giving these tips so, you know, your spouse don't cheat on you, you know?
Yep, exactly. Breaking generational curses.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
So, like you said, you know, there's a bigger reason. And one of the most minute reasons, right? Like, and we talk about this all the time. So, like, how does helping another couple actually help us, right? And so picture a situation where, like, I don't know, a couple all the way on the other side, like in California, on the complete other side of the country, right, is making it, and they're raising their daughter, and I'm raising my son, right? And so both of these children are being raised in righteousness. They're being raised with foundation,
With
right?
mother and father,
with a mother and a father in the home. And they're both being raised as whole people.
There you go.
They're both being raised as whole people, right? And so they meet each other, and now they can now have a union that is also whole. And what's functional, what's normal to them is functional, which is a functional relationship with a man and a woman. And they see this as normal, and they understand that now having children and raising children like this is normal, right? And that's just like on a minute scale. That's literally just thinking about our house, right? But also, if our communities, couples, and relationships make it, and they last, and they're strong, and we're building the nation, now our children, all of them, are now seeing what is normal, right? Normal is a man and a woman together having children and raising their family, building a legacy.
Yes, and going through the adversity of that relationship, because you know these parents will see, you know, they may see their parents may argue or have disagreements, but they say, you know what, well, mom and dad might have disagreements with them when we was younger, but you know what, they stuck it out, they stuck together.
They never went to bed angry.
They never went to bed angry. They worked things out, and what that does is, you know, our what it is nation building, kingdom living. You know, so that's what it's going to do, and it's going to break these generational. It's going to break these generational curses. You know, so that's what That's what we're here to do, to help. You know, men and women in relationships, struggling relationships, to help, you know, turn them into power couples, you know, turn them into power couples, or, you know, single men and single women, you know, that are single right now, but we're here to help you get ready for that relationship, so that next relationship is the last and only relationship.
Correct.
Because you're prepared. We're going to give you tools to help you or coach you to help get you on the right playing field, so when that person comes in your life, you're ready. And you know what to look for, you know what to look out for, you know what, I'm here to stick it out to the end.
Right. And that's one thing that our children would see too, is that, you know, it's not we have a problem and I'm ready to dip, right? Or I'm ready for divorce.
It's like we have a problem, we're ready to work it out.
Right.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty, figure out how we're going to fix this thing.
Right. And find the root of the problem.
Thank you. Thank you to all those that's pressing the hearts, the waves. We appreciate you. We got some I love yous. We love y'all. We thank y'all. This means so much to us that y'all actually tuning in. We really do thank you, because y'all didn't have to be here to tune in.
Yeah.
So just stay tuned. We're going to be wrapping up soon. We got more information to bring out. Stay tuned. We thank y'all very much. And also, when you get a moment, once this stream is done, click the link in our bio to get our 2 free e-guides that we created. One is 12 date night tips, and the other one is 8 intentional acts of love.
Yeah,
right?
So I'm going to clarify just a little bit. They are 12 date night tips, but this is the big thing. A lot of people that we know do not have sitters, right? Shout out to all the sitters I've had. I'm so picky with sitters. They are amazing, but they all had a lot of children. So they can no longer babysit my children, so I have to figure it out, right? So, we have to figure it out. So they are 12 date night ideas that don't require a sitter. And that's what makes them different. And they're really creative, really fun. So yeah, definitely go in the link in our bio, download that, try them out, tell us how you liked it. Did you try something? Which one did you try? And yeah, we just hope that you enjoy it.
And also those 8 intentional love acts.
Yep.
And also, both of them are for people that, you know, the 8 intentional love acts is for if you're married in a relationship, or you're just single, getting ready. The 12 date night ideas is for with no sitter. Yeah, you can use them if you don't have no sitter, but if you I mean, you can use them if you have children, and if you don't have children, still great ideas in there you can use. Yep. All right, so going back to what we're talking about is building a nation.
Yep.
Helping couples.
Yep. So that's what we're doing, and that's it.
No, create new experiences.
Oh, that's the last part. So that's really important, is to just create new experiences. Create new experiences and create new memories. You know, do things that are different and more things to talk about. You know, one of the things that I made this mistake, right? So I was like, you know, we don't have much to talk about. Like, what are we going to talk about just like within ourselves, right? And one of the things is like, you need to create more memories so that you have more things to talk about, right? If the relationship is feeling old, then do something brand new. Like, that's what makes most sense.
And all those new experiences, sometimes they don't have to cost a lot of money. Like we said, we packed the children up, the 2 babies up last week, and drove to the beach. That didn't cost us nothing but gas, and it didn't cost us gas because we had gas in the car. You know what I'm saying? We had gas in the vehicle, so it really didn't cost. We're gonna try
it again, and they gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, hopefully they go to sleep next time. And also, like on this past Sunday, we celebrated our 5-year wedding anniversary.
Yes,
all praise be to the Most High God. Our 5-year milestone. All praise be to the Most High God, His Son Christ, Holy Spirit. And with that, we created a new memory. We had never made our own wine, so we made our own wine. Went to wine making class.
It's not done yet, but
it's a process. Went to a wine making class.
Part 1.
So we got 14 bottles.
Yep.
Yeah, we made 14 bottles of wine.
You're just giving it all away.
I'm sorry. Hey, y'all need to do it. I'm giving them something they can do. You know, so 14.
How many bottles you made?
We ain't gonna drink all those.
We're not gonna drink them all.
We're not gonna drink those. Those for special occasions. They're not even ready. I don't think we just sitting here just getting drunk on wine bibbers and anything like that. But yeah, so it was a nice wine making class that we created that experience. Now we're gonna have these bottles of wine that's gonna, signify our 5-year milestone and many more. Some that some we never did together. And we also went horseback riding. I had never went horseback riding before in my life. I ain't even rode a pony before. Sad me.
But we always talk about that was his whole thing. I never rode a horse before. Well, you had a terrible childhood. You never rode a horse.
So we had that experience. It was fun. We had that experience together, going horseback riding together. So there's some that we just throw some out there for y'all to do. Just create new memories, create new experiences together. That's going to keep the relationship fresh. That's going to allow you to continue to date your spouse. Right? Come on.
And the last thing is, it's really important to understand that, of course, children are going to change. For those of you that have children most, right? Children are going to change the dynamic of the relationship. That's without a doubt. But it's really important to still, find ways around that. One thing that me and my sister always talk about is how, you get married, you have children, and then your children grow up, and then they leave the house, and then you lost your relationship with your spouse because you weren't still dating each other because you were stuck on raising the children, right? And that's a terrible trap to fall into, So we, don't want to be guilty of doing that, right? We want to keep that relationship alive because yes, our goal is to raise the children, but we're not raising them for them to stay here. We're raising them for them to go. You know what I'm saying? To be their own adults. Not soon. For them to be their own adults, their own people.
I guess they're not soon. They're real young, so they're not soon. But they got to go at some point in time.
Yeah, they're going to be adults, and they're going to have their own families and things like that. And then we still need to have our relationship. We still need to have our connection. So, it's important to keep that prioritized, even in the midst of all of that.
Yes. And I can't wait till they go when they get older and everything like that, because we get our freedom back. And then we can just do all types of random things,
Depending on how old we are.
Depending on how we are. But hey, that's another subject. But yeah, so, I hope y'all, got some great information from this, some tips, some things y'all can utilize in your relationship. Don't stop dating your spouse. You don't want your spouse to start coveting other people's relationship.
Yes.
You want to keep the relationship fresh. You want to keep the relationship spontaneous. You want to still show your spouse that you still love them and care for them by giving them love notes, giving them treats. Keep yourself, manicured and different things like that. Compliment your spouse. Find out your spouse's love language as well.
Yeah, that's helpful.
You want to find out your spouse's love language, because that's one thing that kind of helped us. When we found each other's love language, that helped us. So these are different things you want to do, and also, once this is over, Once again, click the link in our bio. Go get our 2 new ebooks. 12 date night no sitter.
No sitter required.
No sitter required date night ideas. It's free. It's free. It's free. And also 8 intentional acts of love. It's free. It's free. It's free. Click the link in our bio. Yeah. And I think that concludes tonight's broadcast. Anything you'd like to say?
That's all.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
That's all, folks. Thank y'all for tuning in on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in on Instagram. Please like it. Please share it. We appreciate y'all coming through. May God bless y'all. Once it's over, please go share it on your page. Someone else can use this information. Peace from Christ Lifestyle.